Hey guys, it's Lakeisha with What's Next, and I'm here again in my husband Johnny's kitchen. I feel like I'm here more than Johnny is, so I don't know how that works out. But, anyways, I'm here again to do an easy, short recipe, something that you can do in one dish, one of our favorites. You can do some changes, so I'll talk about that along the way. But it's going to be another shrimp pasta, and it's going to be something that's really good for this time of year. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, just one dish. So grab your glass 9 by 13 and meet me back here so we can get it going. All right, guys, so we're going to keep this super simple. Now, again, we're starting with just a single dish. So you've got your glass 9 by 13 baking dish. We're going to start with some Boursin. I chose the garlic and fine herbs cheese. So this is really easy to find. You can find it at your local grocery store. And Boursin makes other flavors. This is just going to give it that garlic flavor that I'm looking for. So we're going to go ahead and open up one full package of that. And we're going to put it comes in this nice round circle here. And we're going to put that right in the center of our dish here. Take all the foil off and just set it right in the center there, just like that. Nice and simple. You might have a few little remnants here, which you can peel off or get off with a knife, but they fall off pretty easily. Again, there's other flavors, so if you don't want too much garlic or if you don't like the garlic, then of course choose one of the other flavors of that Boursin cheese. The next thing that we're going to do is take some either cherry tomatoes, or in my case, I got grape tomatoes. Not much of a difference. These just looked to me better in the grocery store. So I grabbed a pack of these, and it's 1 pint. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a pint of these in our dish. If I can get it open here. What on earth? There we go. Just go ahead and throw those in one of the corners. Try to make it kind of a single layer there. And then I took parsley. Now I've already pre-chopped it and I just had it sitting here in a baggie, but I bought fresh parsley. You can also buy the parsley that's pre-chopped in a plastic container in the store. Whatever you decide is just fine. Just throw that in here. But I bought a full bunch, 1 bunch of fresh parsley, and I chopped about 1/3 of that bunch. So I don't know the actual measurement on that, but if you were to do a container of parsley, I think it's a little bit less because it comes out to be about this same amount. So it's about a real full handful of parsley. And again, this is something you can leave out, but these are the ingredients that I am using in my shrimp pasta. 1 bag of frozen shrimp. Now you can choose if you want jumbo, if you want large, if you want medium, if you want small, whatever you like. I would get the peeled and deveined with the tail off medium shrimp. And that's just the ones that I choose. Now you could do chicken, you could do other types of meat, you could do no meat and just have like a vegetable type pasta if you don't eat meat. So all of those things, like I said, there's some ways of you doing it differently. And you could definitely do that. But excuse me, the shrimp is completely your choice how you want to do that. I'm having troubles getting this open, so give me 1 second here. I think my hands are just wet. So anyways, whatever shrimp you choose, you're just going to pour that in here. And I'm going to kind of mix this around. Now you get quite a bit of ingredients in here, but that's okay, because it's all going to cook together wonderfully. Add a little bit more garlic flavor. You're going to add some garlic in here. Now I choose to use the actual garlic, the whole garlic, and to use the cloves like this. And I'm going to put in about half of, this is a 3-ounce container, and I'm going to put about half of it in here. Again, I've got the garlic in my cheese, and then I've got this garlic. So you have to want to have a lot of garlic flavor. but it's going to eat it up quite a bit. So you'll notice that the shrimp will suck up that garlic flavor really well. And I did about half of that 3-ounce container. Next, I'm going to take, I've got 1 large lemon. I've cut it in half, and I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze that juice over my shrimp. You can squeeze it around everything, but the main thing is over the shrimp here. And that helps pull that flavor out in that shrimp. Now, if you did do the chicken, or of course, if you did no protein whatsoever or no meat, you wouldn't have to do the lemon. The lemon is just an added touch because it is, in fact, a fish, shellfish. But if you choose not to do the fish, then don't worry about the step with the lemon. Now, you do have some variety of pasta that you could put into here. I prefer the thin spaghetti, which I'm going to, if I can control it here, lay it on the top here. You can break it up if you'd like, or you can keep it all together in one, which is what I'm going to try to do. And your 9 by 13 should be big enough to accommodate. If you have to break it up, no big deal. It's not going to ruin anything. You just have, of course, have shorter noodles. You can do a bow tie pasta. You could do a rotini. I mean, whatever type of pasta you prefer to do, but you're going to want 1 whole pound box. And of course, it didn't come out exactly like I wanted it to, but that's okay. So I'm just going to straighten it up here a little bit. But I have the extra thin spaghetti here. So this is the one that I think cooks the best, in my opinion, the way that we're cooking it. But again, you can use any kind because I have tested it before and it will work. I think I have another video where I used a small, like a macaroni pasta, if I'm not, like an elbow macaroni pasta, and it worked just fine. So I've got that over top of everything. And now what I'm going to do is take 1 whole 32-ounce container of broth. Now you could do the veggie broth, chicken, beef if you really wanted to. Beef is going to change your flavor quite a bit. But you want to just drain it over the top here because you want to make sure that your noodles are going to cook. So let me go back over what we've got going on here. We've got 1 bag of the frozen shrimp. Now that's about a pound of shrimp. We've got 1 container of the grape tomatoes, but you could use the cherry tomatoes. We've got 1 package of the Boursin cheese, about a half of a container of the garlic. We've got about a third of a bunch of parsley chopped up. And then we've got the thin spaghetti, a 1 pound box, and 1 32-ounce container of the broth, the chicken broth. Again, you can use veggie broth. You can pretty much substitute anything in here. What we're going to do now is put foil over the top. I've preheated the oven to 350, and we're going to cook this all together, obviously, for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now, that's going to depend on your oven. My oven will typically do this in about 45 minutes, but everyone's oven's a little different, so that's why I say 45 minutes to an hour. So just seal this in with your foil. Make sure you pinch along the edges so it's nice and sealed. And you want that seal on there from the foil because that pasta has to be able to cook with that broth. So make sure you've got this covered good, no holes or anything in it. And we're going to put this in the oven again for 45 minutes to 1 hour at 350 degrees. And then we'll come back together and we'll mix it all up and you'll see how magnificent and how easy this was. All right, guys, so I just moved it out of the oven. And again, it was after about 45 minutes at 350 degrees. And you can see that all of our pasta has cooked up just fine here. Nice and soft. We're going to mix this all up really good. You can still see that cheese right there. Very, very, very creamy. You can really smell this. You know, I'm going to use a different utensil. I'm going to actually use a claw. I call it a claw. I don't know what the actual name of this is. If you know, put it in the comments because I just call it pasta claw. All right, so you just basically are going to mix everything around. Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness, this smells so delicious. So delicious. Oh my gosh. The smell coming out of here is amazing. But I'm sure a lot of you were worried if that pasta was going to cook up, but look at it. It is well cooked. And I told you, you can substitute any pasta that you would like. It does not have to be the spaghetti, but I just like the way that the spaghetti cooks. That's the extra thin spaghetti. And then we cooked it at 350 on 350 for approximately 45 minutes in my oven. And for some of you, you may have to do it for 1 hour. So with that being said, let's go ahead and give this deliciousness, oh, it smells so good, a taste. Get a little bit of everything in here. Remember I talked about that you could substitute something other than the shrimp. If you want to do some chicken, you may want to pre-cook it a little depending on how thick you leave the chicken. I probably want to do it kind of thin. But I want to get some of this parsley on here. All right. So much flavor. That cheese really, really gives it a lot of flavor. Again, that was that Boursin cheese. And that garlic is amazing. Very, very good. The shrimp have also picked up that flavor. So we've got so much going on with the tomato, the parsley, the shrimp, and the pasta. Easy, all in one dish. Took us maybe an hour to make. You can't beat it. So again, another quick and easy recipe, quick and easy dish. Delicious, good for this time of year because you don't have to do a whole lot of work. You're coming in late from work, like I always am. But anyways, another shrimp pasta dish from Lakeisha with What's Next. And here in my husband Johnny's kitchen. And I'm going to eat the rest of this, but I will see you next time. Thanks for joining.